All right, so I'm going to be working through a code kata. This is the bank OCR kata, and I'm going to try to get this done in 3 hours. So, I'm pretty excited about this one. I don't exactly know how I'm going to do it, but it does seem like kind of a fun challenge. So the gist of it is that we have these like pipes and dashes that kind of look like numbers. And so we need to be able to read those as numbers. And then we need to use like a checksum kind of calculation to validate that the combination of numbers is valid. We need to be able to detect whether stuff is invalid. And then we also might end up with like ambiguous stuff. So we need to be able to see whether or not we can add or remove. I think it's just add, actually, maybe. Failed to pick up. Yeah, so it's just adding to see if we can get something that will generate a valid checksum. So I'm going to do this in Node. So first things first, let's go make a Node app. So what is this called? Bank OCR Kata. So I'll call this Bank OCR Kata. And I will initialize npm. I'm going to install jest. All right, while that's running, start thinking about this problem, like what my first test cases will look like. So they gave us some that we could use down here, and that also will just give us the actual like images and stuff for the numbers. All right, so we got a handful of test cases there we could use. Even before I do those, I kind of want to see if I can get a single one to register. So I always forget if the default is test or test. I think it's test. And then I'm going to make test, and I'm going to start by just putting it all in one file. I might split it out. Let's get a tmux session going. My editor and my test runner. So can I npx just? Yeah, awesome. Okay, so this first one is going to be for the scanning numbers. Call this. And first case will be something like, well, I'll do my my final case. I'll do this kind of outside in. So like, it can read is it 9 zeros is the first case? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It can read 9 zeros. And they suggested going to the edit view and just copy pasting these. So I'm going to take them up on it. Cool. And I'm just going to put these up here for now. And oops, that's part of the line. So I wonder if I can do it like this. If I called that, I'll call this maybe input. I'll bet I can just backtick these and have it keep the formatting on that. I'm gonna try that. So if that's the input, I should be able to expect, I'll call the function maybe scan numbers, why not? And that should equal 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, cool. And then while I'm here, I can make the rest of these too. So I'll grab that. And I'll grab oops, those are ones. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Reads 9 ones. Cool. Put the 2s in there. Oh, I wonder if if it's gonna beat me up about the white space on this. It actually might. I'm gonna de-dent those, but the runner should bark at me if this isn't gonna work and I have to like concatenate the strings manually, which I'm really hoping I don't have to do. Our 3s test in there. Can read 9 3s. Fours. I wonder if I can. Can't think of a way to Vim my way through that. I have to remember to look that up later. Cool. 5. What if I 9R5. Hey, that worked! That's pretty cool. 9R5. And if you don't know, now you know. Okay, can read 9 6s. Nine R6. That's pretty cool. Next one, 7s. This is probably a little bit overkill on the test cases, but since they just sort of handed them to us, may as well take them. 9R7. And one more. Oh, sorry, 2 more. So this will be there. And then the last one's the 1 through 9. Can read 1 through 9. I might have over. I think that might. Nope, that is exactly what it's supposed to be because these are 3 characters. Might sanity check that in a sec. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, now I'm going to clean these up. So I've got valid code. All right, that looks good. I think this needs to actually go back over like that. 1, 2, 3, yep. Cool. All right, awesome. Fingers crossed that my template literal strategy helps for preserving the formatting on these. Okay, so I've got these test cases, so I should have like 11 failing cases, I think. And I go ahead and make a test runner command. So this will be just watch all. All right, 11 failing tests. Excellent. So I'm going to skip these. All right. And for my, to get started on this, I want to see if I can do maybe just this first one. If I'm given maybe just this character, can I read that? So I'll make another suite here called scan number. And it scans a 0 will be my first case for that. So I'll say the input on that should look like I'll copy one. Perfect. Okay, so if I just get this, I think that conforms to the specs, a 9x9 character. And I would expect scan number to be 0. All right, so scan number is not defined. See, at this point, I'm going to start the repo. And I'm going to echo node modules to gitignore. And cool. Sets up tests, initial tests. All right, so I'm going to make an index.js for this. And I'm going to start by exporting scan number. And let's see what happens if I just do that. Oops, I gotta import it in. So we'll say scan number index. All right, cool. Now we're starting to get somewhere. So if I just hard code that one, Ah, cool. Needs to be a string. All right, cool. So I wonder if I come up with another test case where it does like a 1. So it's not going to make both of them pass. So we expect that one to be like that. So I've got a failing test now. So what if I just set up conditionals for those patterns? So I did something like const 0 equals, and just use the same as the input, like that. So if I said something like, if number is 0, then return that. Otherwise, return 1. Does that give me passing tests? So that makes me think that it didn't actually match those. So let's just sanity check that. Maybe this formatting thing is going to work. Yeah, it doesn't look like it ever actually got past that conditional. Rats. So what is the difference between these? Number and 0. See, those look the same to me. It's probably like with the white space characters. So shoot, what if So I think they say in the actual challenge that like that's the ultimate thing that ends up coming out. So I'll bet those new line characters are screwing it up. Crap. I was really hoping to not have to do that. All right. So if I do this instead as something like this, that, and then like that, and then like that, and then maybe align these like this. Oops. That does have types there. Okay, so if I do that instead, does that work? Oh, I got a passing test now. Do I? Oh, I got to do it over here too. Ugh, crumb. So if I called this let 0 okay, I've got 2 passing tests now. Bummer. Oh, I really hate that. So, so the way that I wanted to do this was like maybe make a dictionary with each of the numbers in it. So like if that's 0 and that's 1. Let's see, 1 was like that, I think. So we could make that like else if number equals 1 and return 1. Still 2 passing tests? Nope. What is... Oh, it says I'm still using that one. Okay, now I've got passing tests again. Shoot, so what I kind of wanted to do was have a dictionary of these numbers. That is starting to sound kind of hard to, well, shoot. What I'm going to do, I'm going to start it. And even if I just move these out into that, I wonder if it's going to get mad at me for using numbers as the keys on this. I kind of doubt it, but we'll see. So if I did something like this, move these out of the function, like that, and did something like 0 is 0 and 1 is 1, could I look those up? So, or no, I want to do this the other way. I want to do it, I understand now. So I want to do it like 0 is 0 and 1. Oh, but I want to do it dynamically. Crumb. All right, so new plan. If I do something like numbers at 0 is 0, I do it that way. And then do something like return numbers at number. Does that still pass? That still passes! Dope. Okay. Phew. So that is an improvement. It still feels really kind of gross looking to me. I'm gonna do another one. I'm gonna do that too. So this will be let 2 equal that, and then 2 plus equals that. 1, 2, 3 there. And then this one is pipe underscore blank, I think. Yep. Cool. So if I do that for 2, I'm kind of looking for like, what are the patterns that are popping out from this? So scans a 2. I'm sort of thinking I want to just mirror this data structure I have here in the test spec. Although I take that back. Maybe this is the winner. Move all of this into its own module like this, like number definitions, and then export those. Yeah, I kind of like that better. That just keeps this, all of this logic out of here. So let's say the 2 is like that. Input. All right, still passing. Let's see it fail. Nope, cool. All right, so shoot, I'm gonna do that. I have it working though, so I'm gonna do a commit real quick. So this adds scan number. Cool. So I'm gonna make a, I'm gonna call it numbers.js. And then I'm going to, like this stuff I'm doing here, if I do all that and then module.export, exports numbers, maybe like that. And then this would be const numbers equals require numbers. All right, so if I do that and get rid of all of this, am I still passing? Nope. Oh, no. Destructuring, still passing. All right, I'm still passing. Cool, that's cool. And then the other thing that I can do is do the same thing over here with like numbers like that. And shoot, how do I get those? Because I need the opposite of this for the test. Or I want to be able to say 0 and get back the thing. So, interesting. I wonder if there's a way, is there like a Lodash method or something? Reverse keys and values. Invert. Perfect. Dope, love it. All right, pulling in Lodash. npm install Lodash. And over here, call that n, and that numbers is invert from, I like the FP version of Lodash a little bit better. I don't think the function's actually any different in this case, but. So if I do something like that, can I log something like numbers at 0? Cool, comes back, I like it. So then if I make this numbers at 0, does the test still work? Yeah, metal. Now these tests suck 100% less. And like, I don't know, there's a little bit of logic in the test now. I don't think I'm gonna lose that much sleep over it. I think it's still helpful. And see. What if I just did the invert inline here? That's kind of getting into unreadable land, but I don't know that that needs a ton of readability right there. Still passing. Cool. Awesome. Next, goal is to read like a bunch of numbers in a row. So I'm going to unskip this and make this an only. I got a failing test now. I want to I need to split up this input into an array with these like 9x9 things in it. So that's going to be something like, so I need like a split function. That's the next thing that I don't have. I'm going to go back to skipping this. So call it split account number maybe. Split account number. It splits a 9-digit account number into a 9 element array. So I'll know this works if I can give it one of these. Oh shoot, I don't know if the new lines are, those might be a problem too. Those first and last new lines. Shoot. We'll see. We'll give it a shot. Okay, so if I say that the, I can probably just take the entire thing. Yep. Should probably take the entire thing and cool. So I expect it's not going to actually transform anything. It's just going to kind of split those up. So I'm going to grab the zeros thing, or that 0 from my numbers. And something like 0, 0, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Something like that is kind of what I want. And then I will expect that split account number with input generates the output. All right, how you like me now? Split account number is not defined. You don't say. So I'm going to make a split account number function. And split account number, cool. Yeah, I think it's keeping the new lines in there. I wonder, I wonder if I can just kill the new lines. This is like more like logic in the test, which is arguably a bad idea. But I just do something like replace new line. How do we do new line? Just like super escape it like that, maybe. All right. Oh, but I don't need to do the regex. Replace that with that. JS replace new line with sure. Okay, they are doing the regex there. When in Rome. So that was just that with a G flag on it. All right, cool. Now we're getting somewhere. All right, I think that's right. We'll see in a sec. So, time for some logic on this. Probably the easiest way to do this is with some kind of low-level iteration, like just counting the characters. We also know it's always going to be 9, so we don't need to make a more general solution than that just yet. So I'm going to say oh no, it gets sent with the new line though. Yeah, okay, because I take it back. I need the new lines because that's what's I'm going to figure out that I'm at the end of a line. Cool. I just thought of a way I could do it without it, but I'm gonna hang on to that that regex replacement because I think that still might actually come in handy. I'm going to that split account number. No, like at that. All right, I'm going to do the same, like, string concatenation thing I was doing before. There really isn't like an awesome way around that. So that becomes like that. And then I'm going to make this I don't know. Do that. Okay, so if I do that, assignment to constant variable. Okay, that's probably better. So I want to count 3 characters. Okay, so first thing is probably to split the split it into these like 1, 2, 3 lines. So I'm going to say that it I do something like lines is account number dot split, and it's splitting on new line. If I just return that, do I get? Oh, but I didn't. Does it just come in as one big string of numbers? I'll bet it does. I think I'm understanding that incorrectly. Each entry is 4 lines long. It does say 4 lines though. And there would be new lines in these. Okay, I got it. Then that would also have the new line. Okay. This is more like what I was thinking. So the red is what I got, yeah. Perfect. So I've split on the new lines, and then if I like make a little container for the split split numbers, and I say that I take the first 3 characters of line 1 and the first 3 characters. All right, I'm going to do this super imperative. I'll say like first line counter is 0, second line counter is 0, third line counter is 0. And then 3 times I want to push, actually no, even better. Instead of having counters, I'm going to shift it off. So I'll say something like for let I equal 0, and while I is less than or equal to 3, I want to shift off the first 3 characters of each line. So that will be, it might make sense to just nest that loop. So if I say, so I is the lines. Actually, I'll make that more descriptive. And this is the column. Then I'm going to say, oh, I actually want to reverse these. I want to iterate through the columns first and then the lines. Shoot, do I? God, I'm already overthinking this. So how about I do this per number. For each number, I'm going to shift off the first 3 characters of each line. Yeah, that sounds more right. So then I need, how about I just do this super manual? Say split numbers, push, like extracted number. This up here. All right, so the extracted number is going to be lines at 0 shift Yeah, like that. So if I do that, and then just do that with each of these. Cool. And then it does that 9 times, which should, oh, but that works. Shift is not a function. Oh, because it's not already an array. So then what I do is for each of those, I also want to split each of the characters. So I'm going to take each line and do like a line dot split, something like that. Okay, serializes the same string, but it's an array, so I got to use the different to equal. Hey, I got a passing test. All right, let's make that less disgusting. So I have 3 iterations inside of each of these. Goes 0, 1, 2. All right, so it is a nested for loop. And see, each one is going to be the line. While line is less than 3, line plus plus. So then if I take the extracted number outside of this, and then make the operation plus equals line, and then do that 3 times, like this, that should give me the same thing. And it does. Excellent. And then I can nest one more loop for the column. Don't worry, I hate myself too. And this one is the column. And while the column is less than 3, we increment that, but we don't actually have to use it in the thing. And it still works. All right. Yeah, that's not my favorite code I've ever written, but I think that gets the job done. So, all right, I can split an account number. So now I should be able to scan an entire number. I'm going to go back to this. It reads 9 zeros thing. I need to change that to get rid of the line breaks and stuff. Bet, failing that. Let's see. Did I have some way I was doing that earlier? Let's see. I'm going to say Oops, except it's not that, it is this. Okay, so if I pass that into scan numbers, do I get 0, 0, 0? Assignment to constant variable, do that. Scan numbers is not defined. So we'll say scan numbers, scan numbers, scan numbers. This takes in numbers. And what I want to do is I want to split the account numbers. We'll say account number, split account number, and then I want to map over each of those and just scan number each of those. Okay, so it can't read property shift of undefined. That means it went too far, probably. There's something about this that doesn't match the grid. All my other tests still passing? One, two, three. Nope. That looks pretty right. Oh, I don't know that I'm joining everything together at the end. So that would need to be part of it too. That's not the problem here, but it will also need to join. Okay, so why can't it find that line? Why is lines at line coming in undefined there? So let's take a peek at what's happening in this like innermost loop. So the number, the line, and the column. And I'm actually going to end it with whatever the extracted number is. All right. Oop. Oh, I don't have the new lines, and that's why it's not working. I got it. Because it doesn't know how to do the split. Awesome, and now it's just not returning. I think I got it. Hey, baby! All right. Cool. So that function by itself doesn't look too bad. So I'm going to make sure I save there. This. Refactors scan number and adds. Should probably be. Sure. No, that's fine. I'll leave it. So refactors scan number, add split account number, and scan numbers. And split account number and scan numbers. All right, and then I'm going to need to add the rest of the numbers in here. So actually, before I do that, I just keep the 0 and the 1. I've still got passing tests. All right, I've got 11 failing now, 4 passing. So how about I make all the rest of these? So it's 3. 4, 5, 'Started getting too cute with my Vim commands. It's a recurring theme in my life. All right, so I've got 7, 8, and 9. Cool. Let's get the actual things correct. So that's the actual 3. Let me just do it in here. There we go. Just I can't even tell what happened there. They just do it on top of it. There we go. Is that right? No, it's empty on the other side. All right. So 3s. Only 10 failing tests now. All right, we're getting somewhere. Okay, for these ones. Clear these out first. All right, so I need 4. This is missing something. I'll bet it's that. Come on. Nope. All right, there's 4. And 5. And 6. And 7. And 8. And 9. Okay, cool. Still 10 failing. I gotta fix the expectations on these so they're more like this. Man, it's annoying. So this one is going to be, oh, I'll bet I can do this like this. If I do that, and then delete all of that, and then take one of these, like that. Nine failing. Excellent. It worked. Okay, so we'll do that. You know what? I actually don't think I need all of these test cases. I'm gonna delete some of these. I believe that it's working. Cool. Eight failing. All right, cool. So I'm going to get rid of the other ones except for the ones where they're different numbers. And let's snag that. All right, moment of truth. Oop, something I didn't like. Reads 1 through 9. Okay. What do I think is happening here? Got all of those. Is it building the string correctly? Yeah, looks like it. Check my numbers. Aha! Not all of these look like they're the right number. Oh, that's good. These are all 3 by 3. Yeah. Did I label them right? Maybe I got rid of those those tests too early. Shoot, let's see. I'm going to do just for the single numbers. Since there's like a pretty finite number of these. Cool. Didn't get 9 back. Oh, it's because these are the only two. Okay, I get it. Smart part over here. You were probably watching that at home going, I know what the problem is. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, hey, back to passing test land, and my numbers 1 through 9 are working out pretty good now. So, those look okay, those look okay. I'm going to kind of let this file live. So I have these like nested fours here. The setup for this said that like we could try it with recursion. Try it both ways. Could. and they're not really doing. I would be more inclined to reach for recursion if these weren't like, if these were doing similar things, but they're kind of not. The 3 different loops. I don't know. Maybe if we have some time at the end, I'll take a look at it. That's clean. That's clean. I'm gonna leave my number checks in here in case I end up like deleting a character or something. I am going to get rid of this one though. I don't think that like adds anything to this at this point. And cool. Awesome. I'm going to call that good. So I will, let's see what's in this. Everything? All right. So I'm going to say that this completes user story 1. All right. And then I'm going to squash those commits too. So let's see. Get rebase interactive head 3. I'll say fix those up and reword this one. Completes user story 1. All right. Hey, cool. So I've been at this for about an hour. I'm going to take a quick break. All right, back in business. So let's set another timer. All right, back underway. Let's take a look at number 2. So we need to validate that an account number has a valid checksum. So checksum is when we like walk these backward, multiply them by their position, then take modulo 11 of it, and that should equal 0. Okay, cool. So let's write a test case for that. I'll call this validate account number. It returns true for a valid account number. And actually, before I do that, how about we do a degenerate case on this one? Returns false for an invalid account number. So if I give it something like all zeros, would that do it? No, that'll still work. I think they had examples of ones that were not good. Maybe. Well, I'm going to put something in there and see what happens. So I do 1, 1. Yeah, this shouldn't work. All right. If I expect validate account number 2 equal false. Actually, Does it just have a matcher for that? Yeah, let's see. I guess it's just to be false. That's fine. All right. And cool, it doesn't exist. So let's add validate account number. And let's make a real validate account number function. And if I just hard code the return, it passes. Neat. So when I add in the other test, which was three, 4, 5, 882, 865. That is a valid account number. Cool. So I got a failing test. All right, let's make it pass. My gut tells me that since these count backward, probably the easiest way to do this is if I have those in an array and then I reverse the array and then I use the index +1 to be this little factor on here, and I go through each one of them and then finally modulo it. I'll bet that works. So first thing is I take an account number and, okay, so I need to make it an array. Which is account number split. Because I brought it in as a number, as a string, right? Yeah. Okay, so I split that and then I reverse it. And then I first account number array. If I reduce this, so I'm trying to sum all of those up. Okay, so I'm going to call that the checksum and the number, and then I also want the index. So I'm going to say return checksum plus the number times the index +1. So that'll be the checksum. And then I'm going to return checksum modulo 11 equals 0. Oh, I also need to coerce all of those to numbers too. So I can do that by mapping those. Do the little number parsing hack. that. Hey, it worked. Cool. Neat. And, oh, but I can just keep that chain going. If I do that, does that still work? Nope, broke something. Checksum. Cool. It's a nice little functional data transformation there. All right, I'm going to save that. So, get status. Adds validate, what do I call that? Validate account number. I sort of want to extract out that function. Call that like calculate checksum by position, or build check. Yeah, I'm going to call it build checksum. So that'll take in checksum number index. That maybe like this. And let existing checksum, I can probably do better than existing current checksum. Okay, and then that becomes build checksum. Hey, that's a little bit nicer. I don't super hate that. While I'm building helpers though. Oh, you know what else I could do? Probably do parse int, and I'll bet that'll still work too. Maybe not. Isn't that what the function's called in JS? Parse int. Oh, it's because it also takes in the base, so it's probably doing that with. That's stupid. All right. I'm going to call this toNumber. Hey, now it tells a little story. I like it. Awesome. How are my tests? Those are pretty good. All right, I'm going to keep that. And I'm going to squash those. All right, user story number 2 is a thing of history. So, next thing. My boss is keen to see the results. Asked me to write out a file of the findings, one for each input file in this format. Okay. So Let's see. Write out a file. So now I need to think, do I want to test the file, or test the actual file writing, or do I want to just trust that Node's write file does its job? I'm going to say, I'm going to test. I don't need to test that write file works. Somebody else tested write file. You can make an argument that like at the level of like this user story that I should probably be doing that as an expectation, as like an integration test. Shoot. How about I start with the just a unit test on this. So I'm going to call this validate validate account numbers. And there's actually a couple things in this story. So one is that we have this like error. That means like the checksum presumably didn't match. And then this is like it couldn't find a number. So we haven't handled couldn't find a number match yet. So we'll need something for that. File of my findings. Okay, so this is going to be it's like a report generation thing. So this will be like generate report, generate account validation report. So I'm going to first test it generates a report for a single valid account. It's probably like our the easiest test we could do. So if I have a valid account number and I expect generate account validation report, and this takes in like an array, I'm guessing, of account numbers. So and then the output on this is going to look like I think it's a correct one. It just has the account number. Yeah. This is actually going to be the same thing. Cool. Cool, not defined. So I add the function there. I add the function there. Numbers. If I just return the first one, I'll bet I can get that. Green! And a can. So, cool. Let's see what the next test would be. It's two valid, multiple valid accounts. Crap, I need some other valid accounts. Let's see. There's one. Some other valid ones. What's happening in use case 4? Okay, so I think these are valid also. Actually, you know what? Before I run that one, let me double check that. So if I bring these up here and cool, that worked. Oops. And that worked. What if I screw them up a little bit? All right. Have a little bit more confidence that this does what I think it does now. Okay, so if this turns into account numbers, then I would expect the output on this back to new line land. It's going to be something kind of like this. Yeah, something kind of like that. Does it work? Oops, constant everything. Okay, so if I unskip this test, womp womp, assignment to constant, oh, that's right. All right, cool. So it's only returned the first one. That's what we thought. So what I actually want this to do is to validate the account number for each of them. So this is going to be like account numbers map validate account number. Okay, so that'll give me a list of, oh, actually this is a little bit different. If it's valid, I don't want to return true. I want to just keep the account number. All right. This is slightly different. So this will be like if validate account number, then return account number. Otherwise, we want like account number and like, is it Yeah. Cool. And then we want to just return all of this. Oh, but we want the new lines too. So in both cases, that's going to be there. Cool. Syntax error. Oops, got too many of those flying around. All right. Oh, it's still an array. Actually, no, that's right. I don't want those in there like that. What I really want is to join those on a new line like that. Hey, all right, we got a passing test. So first instinct for refactoring this is kill the if. So I could just make it return like that. Okay, that's better. Is it still passing? Yep. Next thing is to extract out that little inner function. So if I called it something like get account message, and it takes in an account number and then returns this. Get account message. All right, that's a little bit better. I wonder if it's nice if I kill off the curlies on that. Yeah, I kind of like that. Still passing. I don't like that I'm using get here and generate here. Yeah, I'm going to call this get. Okay, still passing? No. All right, now we're passing. Cool. That's not such a very bad little function there. All right, next case. So I need to actually test that error case. So how about I do that? Generates ports for a single invalid account. So I think one of our invalid ones was all ones. And the output was oops. Hey, it's green. I never actually saw that one fail. Perfect. Okay, so we'll do that. And can it do mixed for mixed valid and invalid accounts? So if I do something like 3 of these. And account number 1, account number 2, and expected the output to be that 9R1. Let's see, does that work? Account numbers not defined. And this one is account numbers. Doesn't like that new line at the end. Yeah, that's fine. All right, we're passing. So now we need to handle that illegible issue. So this is anything that has question marks in it, which means like we also need to be able to handle anything where like the characters don't quite match up. Really, that's going to be a case of scanning numbers, or scanning a number. It scans an illegible number. So we're going to expect it to come back with question mark. And the input on this will be, you can just kind of borrow one of these. And I'll just screw this up a little bit. All right, cool. So if it comes in like that, we expect it to come back with that. Is that what happens right now? Nope. So our function for that. So now I'm thinking, do I put this logic in the numbers thing? No. It wouldn't work with how it's being used right now, which is only there. Perfect. So I'm going to actually change the API of this numbers thing. Is this what I want to do? Instead of looking it up directly on the dictionary, I'm going to change this API so that it's a function that tries to do that, and if it can't find it, returns the question mark. That's the way to do this. So now this is going to have a function called getNumber. This is going to maybe break my tests. Because I'm doing that flip. You know what? I'll just export both of them. That works. GetNumber takes in a number like symbol. It's like a number scan, I'll call it. And then if numbers at number scan exists, return numbers at number scan. Otherwise, return that. Cool. And now I'm going to return both of these. Numbers and get numbers. That means that this becomes that, and this becomes that. That is a really ugly line now. Still passing? Nope. And then this, I actually want get number out of that. And this will be get number like that. Now we're passing. All right. So successfully changed the API on that. So let's see. Test for that might be something like it generates a report for a single illegible account. So if it's like, let's see, if it's like that, then I want it to say 3, 4, 5, huh? No new line. And okay. All right, so it's reading that as an which means I also need to, when I'm validating an account number, do I it doesn't make any sense to validate an account number that I know isn't right. So really, I want to check for the presence of any of those question marks first. So, oh man, does it tell me how I have to do this? Okay, I don't think it prescribes an order. One account number per row. All right, cool, much better. Then I'm gonna group all of the illegible things together. So like maybe I filter it first. So this will be like filter account number account number dot includes, and I want ones where that's not the case. And but then I need a way to get them back in. let's do this. What if I consider those sort of separately? So I do valid account numbers and invalid account numbers. And this became valid account number. Oops. Valid account numbers. And invalid account numbers. And for each of those, all I want to do is have some fun. All I want to do is get that the ill thing at the end. So I can say account number ill. Cool. And then if I spread all of these like that, and do that. Oop. Screwed something up. I don't know how. This is such beautiful code. What doesn't it like? Unexpected token on line 58. It's here. Maybe it doesn't like that. I don't like it either, for what it's worth. Still on line 58. Can I not? Why couldn't I spread the result of a map like that? Maybe I didn't close one of these. That looks fine. That looks fine. 55. Oh, I'm not doing anything with this. Maybe that's the problem. There we go. Hey! All right, cool. Now let's clean up this gnarly thing. So, instead of doing this split, I think there's a Lodash method that does that kind of split for you. Maybe it's a collection method.
Making Bass Pro Shops.
Size? Partition. Yeah, cool. So I'm going to bring in partition from Lodash. Require Lodash FP. All right, so I'm going to change this into valid account numbers, invalid account numbers. So I'm going to array destructure that out of partition account number includes question mark. I think that does the same thing. Partition. Oh, and then I have to pass the data in. Count numbers. Maybe it's the other way around. There we go. All right. Okay, that's an improvement. Let's make that a little bit more readable. I'm going to make that partition its own function. Get separate valid account numbers. Like that. Then this becomes separate valid account numbers. Cool. And then I'm gonna make like a mark illegible for account number that, which probably means, let's mark illegible. Still passing? I'm still passing. And then probably one line this. So I don't love that I'm kind of doing two different strategies here. I kind of feel like maybe this get account message should also include the illegible part. I feel like I just overcomplicated the hell out of this. So, all right. I'm going to make a save point here. Commit ems. This is work in progress for story 3. I'm going to say, what if I open this back up? Like that. And instead of doing the ternary, I'm going to just do ifs and elses. So if then return account number, else if, and then I'm going to do my, that little contains predicate kind of thing in there, not if account number includes, then return that. Otherwise, it's an error. Cool. So now I wouldn't separate out the account numbers anymore. I don't need that method. I don't need, this really is just map and join. So I could do something like account numbers dot map, get account message, and then join it. All right. Syntax error on 57. That looks right. That looks right. Oh. All right. Okay, as much as I hate ifs, that's just better than what I had before, which was like all this stuff. Forget about it, man. Okay, so now I'm thinking, how else do I kill the ifs? I can iterate through an object of conditions. It's not just a simple lookup, because they're like kind of two different sorts of conditions. All right, I'm getting back into overcomplicating it in the name of functional purity. I think I might just live with these three cases here. All right, hold your nose, write something that somebody can understand. Okay, so have I done this? Oops, count number. Count numbers. Cool. 22 passing tests. Yeah, I think this is probably a fine enough place for this to be right now. Yeah, I'll live with it. So I want to clean up these tests a little bit, though, because I have more tests than I actually need. So the multiple for, like, this is really the one, the mixed valid, invalid, and illegible accounts. So if I just make this one more robust, I think that probably gets the job done. So I'll call that one 3. And then just for the lulz, why don't I throw in another valid one? All right. So then I want the output of that to be illegible. And then this one to be that. All right. It passes. I'm going to get rid of that test and that test and that test and this test. It's really the only one I need. I got plenty of confidence with this one. So, cool. Take a look back at the story. Oops. Yeah, cool. I like it. All right, so I'm going to commit that. All that story 3, and then I'm going to refactor these two. So we got 1, 2, 3. Okay, get rebase I. The last 3 of these. And reword that one. Completes user story 3. All right. All right, I'm going to take a break for this last one, but it turns out when something comes back as or ill, it's because the scanner failed to pick up one pipe or underscore for one of the figures. So we need to look at any number that came back as or ill. Oh, actually, hang on. There's one thing I didn't do. I wanted to generate the output, but the actual request was to make a file. So I'm actually not done. I'm happy with the logic on this. So that's get account validation report. I think the generate account validation report is probably like the writing of it. So if I had something like function generate account validation report, was I exporting that? That takes in account numbers and let's see, validate account number. I'm assuming they want, yeah, they want like the scans and stuff. So I want scan numbers, and scan numbers okay, that, and then that gives me the thing that I can, yeah, I got that. So this will be return scan numbers, account numbers. And then with the result of that, I want to get an account validation report. Actually, ooh, I still have a partition in here. I'm going to take that out, but I'm going to bring flow in. And I'm going to say return flow, account numbers, scan numbers, get account validation report. Okay, so, and then it's just going to write that. So this will be, bring in write file const. Write file from fs promises. So I will write file, and then I will report dot text UTF-8, and then the contents of it are report, and then do something like console.log wrote report.txt, and if there's an error, writing this report. Okay, and so normally I'd probably use Bash or something to integration test this, but I'm going to do it on the, let's see. Then I need to be able to read it into, crap, is this really what I want to do? Yeah, why not? So I'll make some sample data, and if I take some of these, oh, actually, hang on. Let me go back and I might be overthinking this. One for each input file. File has one account number per row. No, that's the output file, though. Produces a file with a number of entries in it, which look like this. Okay. So if I do something like read that in, equal, let's see, const read file is require fs.promises. Okay, and then input is I wonder if it'll let me do this async operation on the REPL. I'll bet it will. Sample.txt. Yeah. Oh, it needs me to resolve the promise though. Const resolved input promise.resolve input. No, it's still got the promise though. Shoot, it really wants me to do a then off of it. All right, fine. So input dot then input. So I want to take that and pass it into. Oh shoot, I didn't actually read my file in. Load. Okay. So then if I call, what do I call it? Generate account validation report. Input, then input, generate account validation report with input. Account number.split is not a function. All right. Let's see. Maybe what I actually want to do is just mock the read and write functions. Let's try that. Generate. So that one is get. This one's generate. So it returns a report. So this one is going to be, it writes a file containing a report. All right, so just mocks just.fn. Okay, it's just.mock, that's right. Just.mock fs.promises. So I also want to bring in just, and then I want to call generate count validation report with some input. And then I expect fs.promises.write file. And then it is just the string, right? Yeah. And then I'm going to expect that write file, that's like to have been called or something. To have been called, yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Let's start there. Just is already, oh, maybe it's already put in there. There we go. Could not find module fs promises. So I might need to also import it at the top of this. Write file is require fs.promises. Let's see, just mock write file. Ah, there we go. Gotta do it all complicated like. Okay, and then I do bring in the fs module, and then I run the mock assertion on that. So it's going to be expect write file to have been called. Generate account validation report. Does not like the thing that I handed it, nor should it. Let's go back up to this. Count numbers.map is not a function. Count numbers come in. Scan. Count numbers.map is not a function. So that one's on 59. So that means it's having trouble when it gets to there. So let's take a look. I'm going to isolate that test. And I want to take a look at what account numbers actually comes in as. That's right. Let's see. Okay. No, that's right. Oh, I know. It's because scan numbers is only for one thing. All right, that makes sense. Like, I'll bet I get this to pass if even if I just wrap that in there, and then like I need to map over each of those, but that's doable. So if I bring in map from low-fp also, and turn this into map scan numbers, I bet that works. Oh, so the what is the API for write file? fs write file. Fs promises write file. Oh, it's defaulting to UTF-8 now. That's an improvement. All right, I'm going to leave the encoding off. Attempted to log rote report. All right, well, that's good. Oh, and since this is an async test, I need to write it as such. Feel like I did, man. Maybe I need to. Oh, I'll bet I need to like await that or something like that. That would make sense. Just async tests. Oh, see, I understood that correctly. Oh, maybe I probably need to do both of them. That makes sense. Await, done. Unexpected reserved word await. Oop, async. I didn't. I waited that. Let's see what this looks like with promises. So if I do that and get rid of the await. Oh, it's because I'm not returning it. That's why. Come on, dude. Good, good, good. Good, good. Write file to have been called times. Received value must be a mock or spy function. I feel like I did that. Oh, it needs to be done at the top. All right. All right, and now we're in business. All right, 19 passing tests. I'll take it. So, all right, anything else goofy in here? All right. All right. Actually use both of these. Yep. All right, cool. All right, I'll take it. Dope. While I'm at it, I will add report.txt to the getIgnore. Okay. This is commit writes. This is the actual like completes story 3. It's user story 3. All right, I'm going to fix that up with the last one. Oh, that's pretty good. Git log. All right, cool. So I've got, oops, I blew something else out. It's the danger of rebasing. Yowza. All right, so let's take a look back at this thing. One for each input in this format. All right, I'll take it. All right, so before I dive into user story number 4, I'm going to take a little break. So, all right, back at it. So, we're a little low on time, so I'm going to branch for this one. Story 4. We'll see if I can get through this one. So if it comes back as or ill, scanner failed to pick up a pipe or an underscore. Look at numbers that have come back as or ill and try to guess what they should be by adding or removing just one pipe. Oh, adding or removing. Okay. Just one pipe or underscore. If there is only one possible number with a valid checksum, then use that. If there are several options, the status should be ambiguous. If you still can't figure out what it should be, the status should be reported ill. All right. So, let's come up with some stories or some test cases. So I'm going to say the name of this. Actually, this is still generate. Okay, I'm going to say this is still part of get account validation report. So I'll say it returns, plural, a report for it returns a report for an illegible account that can be fixed. I don't know if I love the wording on that, but so for this one of my valid accounts was this. Oh, weird. Okay, there's something that I think I did wrong on this earlier. I'm realizing now. So I was thinking if it sees the question mark, then it would go, oh, maybe I go back to whatever the original thing is. But this function never sees the original thing. The account numbers that it gets are already in OK shape. So that means that it needs to have the original account numbers. So the API for this one actually needs to be a little bit different. So that like map and scan numbers thing, that actually happens in the get account validation report. All right. I actually don't think that's that big a deal. So if I do that, and I think I'm going to use just the built-in map for this one. So I say we'll call these like scanned account numbers, and then const account numbers equals scanned account numbers map scan numbers. Cool. I'm going to put that here because it's closer to where it's being used. Oh, and I'm already doing a little functional chain here anyway. Screw it, just use that. Cool. So all of my tests are about to break, so I'm going to skip that. All right, so I've got 2 failing tests. What I actually need to do, why do I have 2 failing tests? I'll find out in a sec. So I need to make the account numbers for these the goofy symbol chains. So like that one that's all ones would actually be this. Okay, so that one is account number 2. And then, oh man, this is gonna be excruciating. So, 3 for let account number 1. Start with one of these. Oh, but I just reuse the one I have. And then I'll blow all these out. So I need a 3. And a 4. And a 5. And 2 8s. And then a 2 and an 8. And then a 6. And a 5. Okay, so there's account number 1. And then account number 3 is going to be oh, it actually is almost all ones. So this one is going to be something ambiguous. So just nothing. So that should come back with question marks. All right, and then number 4 is a 4, a 5, a 7, a 3, 4, 5, 7, 5, 0, an 8, and 3 zeros. Okay, phew. That should still generate the same thing. Done like something. Okay, so what about what's actually throwing that? Generate account validation report. probably skip that for right now. Okay, everything else works. That's good. Why isn't that one working? Generate account validation report. Ah, so it doesn't need this part anymore. Now it's working, which also probably means that that doesn't need to be a flow. Which means, oops, that's right. Should have done that there to begin with. Cool. So now we've got that. I've got passing tests. I've got 20 passing tests. All right. Phew. All right, now we're back in flavor country. I'm going to commit that real quick. Refactors, story 3. And then I'm going to hop back over to master and pull that in. Then go back to story 4. Okay, cool. So if I have something that should be right but is one thing off from being right, that might look like, so like this is one that's correct. And if it's like that, that's one off from a right number. So I'd expect it to come back with a fix for that, because you can add one pipe to it. All right, so I would expect that to be this. And it's not. It comes back as illegible. Cool. So now, you know, think about how I want to fix that. So I'm going to say that the correct place to handle this is probably in scan number. So if scan number comes back with, oh, you know what? I don't think I actually needed to do that. I think it's still what was being asked for. Maybe? I don't know. I'm unclear about whether or not the input for that generate report is actually the scans or not. Because if I'm fixing it here, the wording on the question's a little bit confusing. Because this makes it sound like it's part of generating the report, but like really just do this as it's being scanned in as a number. So it doesn't like first become the question mark and then become whatever else. All right, I'm going to leave it. The okay, let's just look at the sample cases for this. No, this come in like that. Okay, I think I did it right. Okay, so in this scan number, that's when I find out that something... Oh, I know why. Because scanning the number, I can pick up the question mark there, but I can't... Okay, no, it can't get handled here because I also have to know if the checksum has failed. So that's going to be part of this, where it's validating those. So, okay, that'll make sense. So before I say that something is illegible, I want to like try to remediate it. So to do that, I'm going to make a new function. Scribe. And I'm going to call it like attempt to reconcile. I don't like this already. Reconcile ambiguous number. All right, and it reconciles a misscanned 3. So the input on this one is just going to be, I'll use the 3 from up here. Input. Not doing new lines on those. All right. It reconciles a misscanned 3. So I will call reconcile ambiguous number on input. And okay, if I'm trying to think of everything that could come back from this is always going to bring back an array, because it could stay ambiguous, or it could be any of the things that it might eventually match. So it could be that. The other things that we could get by adding or removing a pipe, nothing there, nothing there. So it could be 3. It couldn't be 4, couldn't be 1, couldn't be 2, couldn't be 2, couldn't be 4, couldn't be 5, couldn't be 6, couldn't be 7, couldn't be 8, couldn't be 9, couldn't be 0. All right, this is the only thing it could possibly be. So, all right, there's the test case. 2 failing tests. What was the other one? I'll find out in a sec. Reconcile ambiguous number. Number scan. Okay, what is my failing test here? Okay, good. My big test for this. That's fine. I'm gonna ignore that. All right, there we go. Back in business. Okay, so there are 9 positions in this, and I want to go through each of those positions, add a pipe, add a hyphen, and for each one of those, if it ends up being inside of a match for the numbers, then it gets added into an array. So I'm going to call this possibilities. And then I'm going to long code this out. So shoot, I need to turn this into let's say I could turn it into an array of arrays. And then I can do it by position, which is probably easier than trying to figure it out in the string. So what if I so I can do that same split on the lines. Actually, can I just reuse some of this? This is like, no, I don't really think I can. This is, yeah, this is fundamentally a different thing. This was getting each of those little places. This is kind of its own thing. So this would be like lines equals number scan. See, well, it doesn't have new lines in it either. So it would actually be like purely based on the characters. I think there's a Lodash function for that actually. So if I try to pull up the string docs, or I could bucket. I know. I can turn it into an array and then chunk it. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. So it's gonna be split, and then I'm gonna pull in chunk. And since we're using Lodash FP, it'll be like that. Okay, so then I should end up with 3 arrays of 3, right? Let's take a look. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Cool. So I want to iterate through each of those arrays and try changing. Okay, this will be like for let line equal I'll say let line, what would I initialize that to? Let line number equals 0. Line number is less than 3. Line number increment Okay, so that's going to go through each one of the lines. And then for each one of those, I want the position. And then for each one of those, I want to replace what it is and then rebuild the number. And then compare that to the list of things. Okay, so if I get lines at line number position, and I set it equal to dash if rebuild number lines isn't ambiguous, then possibilities.push is rebuild number lines. Cool. And then also do that for the pipe. All right, so cool. So now I just need that rebuild number function. So if I did that as like rebuild number, which takes in a number scan array. So I need to, let's see, I think I just need to join everything. So if I like for let line number equals 0, line number is less than 3, line number plus plus. So for each number scan array at line number, let's see, I'll store a result. Let result. So I'll say like result plus equals that join that. Okay, so for each line, that's going to join all the things together and push it into the result. And then once that's done, I can do my get number result. Okay, is this even close? Oh, and then I need to store what it originally was. Also, I forgot. Original is lines, line number, position, and then I need to restore it when it's done. So it'd be like that with original, called original value. All right, so got that. Am I even close? Hard to tell. So look at the actual function here. This was reconcile ambiguous number. Man, this one got out of control fast. And then I want to rebuild. I want to return possibilities. That's right. Cool. Didn't come back. Kind of want to see what rebuild number looks like. Okay, it's doing the correct thing. If I take a look at the result here, what do these look like? They're strings, which is correct. Yeah, that's kind of how they come in. Huh. All right, I'm out of time, but this is about how far I got. Pretty close. Maybe I'll wrap this one up some other time, but that's what I got. Pretty decent way through it. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. Cheers.